Alright, it's recap time again for the Ultimate Fighter. That occurred last night. Generally, I put the video out the same night, but I was tired. I have no better excuse. Alright, usual 5 countdown before, spoilers if you have not seen the show. Alrighty, onwards we go. This is probably going to be a pretty short review because not a lot happens. But basically, we have an explanation of the cliques in the house. I don't care. That being said, just for anyone who happens to care, we have the casino, which is basically anyone that is not mentioned in the other 2 groups. The Bible Thumpers, which is Johnny Bedford, Dustin Piggs, surprise, surprise, and Dennis Bermudez, which is a bit weird because that one kind of came out of left field. I really didn't think of, I wasn't really thinking of him as a Bible Thumper. Anyways, and then we have Team Douchebag, which is what I'm going to call it, just because Akira's part of it, and Diego's part of it, and John Dobson's part of it. Also involved Ferguson, Brimage, and Luis Gatineau, who's talking a lot of smack now that he's been eliminated. That confuses me. Whatever, if it's your personality, whatever. I mean, none of it's been over the line. None of it's been like, how could you say that? It's just a bit weird that we're hearing more smack from him after he lost than before. It's strange. Anyways. So the big moment of the house is Akira decides to, because Brian Caraway is too pretty and too much like a woman, to attempt to shave his head. Stupid. Whatever. Stupid, stupid, stupid. Nothing else to say about that. There's, whatever. This is the second shaving incident we've had, with, of course, Kendall Grove's eyebrow being previously the victim of Mike Nichols and Michael Bisping doing their thing. Continuing on, though, we have a fight. A lot of that is talking about the fight. Dennis Bermudez talking about how his wrestling is, going to be good. Akira talking about how, I'm going to be elbowing him. I'm going to get on top of him. I'm going to elbow him. When he's on top of me, I'm going to elbow him. I'm going to get back to my feet. And it's not a bad game plan, to be honest. We also get some poking at Dennis being kind of dumb. Does seem not to be the brightest bulb in the closet or room, however you wish to use that saying. But whatever. They draw an owl, stick it on there, and I must admit, Akira, for all the faults, good artist. Good artist. Maybe he should consider doing that because, well, I'll touch more on that later. Anyways, we get the prank, which is, it was a good prank. Props to Bisping and Tiki for coming up with a very solid prank. They distracted Team Mayhem with some trash talk, talking about how the assistant coaches don't fight. I've never cared if an assistant coach fights. You're not necessarily teaching me how to fight. You're teaching me a certain subsection of fighting. Some of the greatest tactician minds are not fighters in the likes of Graham Jackson, or not very good fighters in the likes of the late Sean Tompkins, and even Matt Hume wasn't. Matt Hume was a bit of an exception. He definitely had some moments, and he's just gotten kind of old now. But I mean, he wasn't a groundbreaking fighter either. So there you go. Some of the great coaches, not great fighters necessarily. It's been a general rule. So continuing on, we have basically the fight. Oh wait, well, touching back on the prank. The one problem with the prank is that despite it being non-toxic stuff that they were spraying everywhere, they still couldn't train. So I guess if the 3 guys who are still in the competition don't mind that, it's not a problem. But I'm thinking I might mind if I was one of those 3 guys. But anyways, we get to the fight. Kira's looking good, really good. Talked a lot of smack before the fight. Seems he's backing it up. He's tagging Dennis. He's got some power because Dennis is stumbling. Just, like every shot seems to a little bit rock him. Not a huge 11 bar Joe Rogan, hey, he's rocked moment. But definitely, not all there. A little confused, etc. Stuffing takedowns. Problem with the takedowns is they were not set up at all. And Dennis's corner was yelling that at him, the Mayhem corner, about, you got to set your takedowns up. You got to set your takedowns up. You can't just be, half rocked and shooting for a double. That doesn't work. But there are still some guys who could take him down off that, so go figure. Akira eventually is brought down, gets caught in a guillotine, does the fake tap again. That's annoying. I'm not one of the people who think he tapped against Nice, because I don't. I mean, for one thing, you don't stop until the ref tells you to stop. And for the other thing, I do believe it was more of a thinking of tap. I don't think it was the 3 taps. I think it was 2. That's just me. Um, I don't know though. Only Akira knows, and he's going to take that secret with him to the grave, I'm thinking. But this one's definite. What are you doing? You're tapping. Just not tapping enough to make the ref stop it. And eventually Dennis chokes him more or less unconscious. Really, it was a very poor guillotine defense from Akira, I must say, because it was no real attempt to gain space. Not really. And that's not exactly a good thing for a guy who thinks he's the smartest guy in the house and, you know, thinks he's a badass. Not so badass when it comes to a guillotine, apparently. Anyways, he hugged Bisping. People are going to make fun of him for crying. I do. I mean, that's a human moment. That's I'm not surprised because he put a lot of emotion in that fight. The only problem I have with him is that he feels the need to be the poser bad boy. I'm not saying the streets of Sweden are not a rough place. I'm just saying I've been a couple places, and I don't qualify Sweden as this massive ghetto that he was trying to make it out to be. I really don't. Sorry. There are, simply put, meaner places on this planet, and some of the guys on this show are from those meaner places. And they're not being idiots, so go figure. Next time around, we're apparently going to get TJ versus Dustin Peg. That's a good fight. That's an interesting fight. I'm taking TJ. Just throw out a prediction. And that's it. Hope you enjoyed a rather short recap, and have a good day.